GChat or Facebook or whatever, we're going to have chat within the system where you can collaborate with other referral partners across the country, other agents in your market center, people in your groups. So if you wanted to, or on your team, you want to talk to other people on the team, we wanted to create a collaboration platform within Command right here. This is already fully functional. I can actually use this. What else?
One of those icons going to be like a Kelly voice integration built into Command?
That's really cool. Actually, here's what's going to happen. Kelly is, we're in the process of putting Kelly into your chat.
So you still have that function right from there?
Yeah, you can just talk to Kelly within the chat. Yes. Obviously, we have.
We have to communicate with the client.
Yes. Yes. We had to build chat. We had to build a collaboration piece so that ultimately you can communicate with your client. So your clients, based on, if they want to talk about a specific home, it's all going to show up right there. We're going to make that easy. Or talk about, if you want to talk around a transaction with somebody else from the team, you can do it right there too. Contact cards, obviously, is pretty easy. Let me get a fully functioning one. This is what this is being built towards is, so if you have a fully built out contact card, you have your basic static information up here, you have information around the timeline, so anything that's happened in the past or is upcoming in the future scheduled to happen is going to show up right there. And communication that you have with that client is going to show up right there. You're going to be able to see every deal that ever happened with your contact. So if you have one contact, there's some CRMs that you can't track transactions like this. You have to create new contacts for every single transaction. This is going, you can have 100, 200, as many as you want transactions for every single contact, even if they fell through. They can all live right here. Any smart plans that you have people on. Smart plans are action plans or workflows. You probably have these in your current systems. If something happens, then do this. Or I got a listing under contract, so do X, Y, and Z. It's going to create task lists for you. It's going to automatically send emails for you, integrating it with systems to give you the capability to automatically send text messages if you want to, and just keep you up to date. This is where we envision the tech-enabled agent to really shine. Is you're going to have as many of these smart plans operating with your contacts, so that it is taking a lot of function off of you and it's automating it. We want to create as much automation as possible. There's going to be agents that don't use these to its fullest capability that are still going to be doing a lot of the function manually. And there's going to be the agents that come in here and have 10, 15 of these set up for every single contact in their database, and it just keeps going. It tells you, it reminds you of their birthdays, their anniversaries, their home anniversaries, it sends out, I don't know, newsletters, monthly insights emails, it updates their app, based on whatever they do in their consumer app, it updates their contact card. It's going to do all that functionality, so you don't need to hire VAs to do all this extra work or go purchase third-party systems to update your system or connect with Zapier or if then that or whatever other tool that you're using to make this work and automate your business a little bit. We want to build that into smart plans. Lastly, notes. You want to have notes for your client or contact. That's going to be in here. You put custom fields in. That's already working. It already works within Command. Putting in custom fields. There's some tweaks that need to happen to that. If you played with it at all, and you can build this however you want to build it. I think I have an image of what it's going to look like when we have consumer. I wanted to show you that. It may not be here. I think the consumer team actually has it, and they hid it from me. Also in here, one of these tabs is going to be the consumer. So you're going to be able to see some statistics from if they have the app downloaded and it's connected to you, you're going to be able to see statistics from there, any relevant information, what they're looking at, anything that you would expect to see, and that app is going to show up. Communication is again going to show up right there. It's all going to live in this card. If they don't have the app or it's not downloaded, you're not going to get that information. So it's going to be imperative to get as many of your people, and really, the way I envision it is, this is gonna be, first off, it's gonna be land grab, it's gonna be one-to-one. So there's probably a lot of you in this room that have some crossover in your databases. But once somebody connects to a specific agent with their app, it's not, you're gonna understand that, hey, this consumer is in somebody else's database and they're connected on their app. And that's a one-to-one relationship, and they have that pipeline established. It's gonna become a land grab for people to get people on their app, and we really envision that being your true database, in a sense.
If we share the version of the app that we have now, 3kw.com, when the new consumer interface rolls out, are they gonna have, is it gonna be a different app we have to share, or is it gonna show up as an upgraded consumer? So I worry about like sharing all that now and having to reshare it. Right?
Yeah, the reason another reason we bought Smarter, or one of the main ones that we bought Smarter Agent is because we wanted to create that distribution platform, so it's just gonna switch the app.
Okay, so
It's gonna
good. Okay, so it'll just show up like an update.
Yeah, now there may be some things they need to do to reconnect it specifically to you. But we're still not 100% sure on how that transition is gonna look, but it's gonna update automatically for them. So, just because there's some information that they have that you don't necessarily have, it shouldn't be that hard, but when they connect to you, they don't really give the app much information except maybe perhaps your cell phone number. Yeah, so we need to communicate back to command.
No, that would seem to make sense with just a strictly residential buyer,
Yes.
right? Somebody who is, let's say, an investor who might use 3 or 4 or 5 different agents because they're buying 20 or 30 houses per year.
This
Yeah.
platform probably.
Then
before that.
it doesn't seem like, if you do it strictly one-to-one, that would be.
So it's gonna
a
be
good way to go.
It's gonna be one-to-one as as the main agent. The agent that's controlling the app and providing the most information and insights it's gonna be a one-to-one. We are talking through the capabilities, and it's gonna have to be there to have, other agents involved in that process too. So if an investor wanted to use this app, they would have their main agent, and then that agent would bring in guest agents to manage transactions for that investor also. If it's, say, outside the city, I could bring in a guest agent, say I send a referral somewhere.
No, I don't mean it like that. I mean it that, so for example, it's not just me. Let's say I have a team of 5 people, and I say, well, I want these 5 people to work with this one guy. No, it might be me, it might be the other person from the other Keller Williams over there, the other person from, 5 other different brokerages who might be trying to work with that person. And possibly even here, where there's over 300 agents here. And so because of that, from time to time, we are each other's competition as well, in terms of working with a particular.
Yeah, that's an interesting scenario. I'd love to, get more insight on that and how you think that should look. Obviously with a team, if there's somebody working with a team, that's all gonna,
It's easy.
operate under that team. But if it's multiple agents trying to service the same client that are not connected to each other in any way, except for maybe being within Keller Williams, it's going to, it's just a hard thing to do. You can't do that with any other app, really. They could just, whoever they end up buying or selling a house with is who they're gonna end up probably sticking, otherwise they're gonna be switching agents over and over and over again, and that's just gonna be a pain. We really think that this is gonna create the people that use the app, it's gonna create a lot of stickiness. Just because there's gonna be so much information in there. When they close through the app, it's gonna have all their closing documents, et cetera, like everything's gonna live there. That's how we envision that working.
She was asking a question earlier about .loop and whether the documents, whether that would replace .loop somehow.
We're not looking to replace those document repositories or signature platforms because they're not expensive at all, and so we're in the process of making those connections happen, having Kelly interact back and forth, and also pushing that information to command. So command becomes your layer that you look at, and it utilizes the technology that's already built back there to support the system. So .loop talking to DocuSign also, and some other platforms to make sure we give you the best experience, and whoever works with us.
I know these systems have been, easily tied to websites provided through Keller Williams. But many of us has, websites outside, custom made, there are community websites where we insert searches such as, many of us use Home Finder. Is this system going to have the capability of us to simply throw it on our site where people, start attracting online leads and all of that stuff?
This is going to be its own website. Now, you can create landing pages to drive leads. You can't, we're not going to make the KW search site, those aren't gonna be squeeze pages at all. So it's not like, we're not providing an IDX to feed other websites. Now you can tie those other websites into command. We need that capability, so you can still drive people to those websites and pull them into command. Now, it's not gonna give you near as much information as them going to your personal KW website or going to kw.com and logging in their credentials. That information, those insights you're gonna gain from that consumer are gonna be so much greater than if they're using White Lopo or Boomtown or whatever, where they just tell you how many times they visited, what houses they like, etc. Does that answer your question?
Okay, so it's kind of a,
As far as, and this has been a whole conversation in all of Gary's masterminds also, is around, there's a lot of large teams, large businesses that are using web leads as their main driver of business, but at the same time, they've also seen those expenses, those price per leads go up and the conversions go down. And so we're trying to think through, what does this look like going forward? How do we drive leads to you that are more qualified, have higher conversion rates, and are similar to maybe something that Zillow would drive to you, or even better, but you don't have to pay for it. And so that's what we're working on right now. What sort of information can you provide the consumer? What sort of websites can you drive to them? I think Kelly snaps that at the neighborhood level that also have lead capture forms to be able to drive more qualified leads to you. Yeah. Cool.
Is the marketing stuff able to be done?
Yeah, let me jump into that, see if I can get going. So again, we're not trying to cut out marketing whatsoever. We have built into this tool, we have Facebook marketing, Twitter. This is something that works right now, which I don't know who uses Twitter, but I can set up an ad. I can set up an ad for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google, pay-per-click, and then real mailers right now. This works. You can send these ads right now and set them up, and set up all the tools. I want to attract listings on Facebook. I can do that. Or I want to track listings on Facebook, Instagram, and Google AdWords. Want me to put Google AdWords? Oh, it's because some of them are different. There's a bug. Again, this is the development environment, and obviously live demos never go wrong. So, I can set these up and say I want these to go from here to here. My budget's $1. I want to body, configure this campaign. I can search for what listing. I don't have any listings under my name. Let's select one of these. It's Calgary. And I can set up, this will pre-populate with information. We're still working on that pre-population a little bit, but automatically create your campaign. You can decide, I want this much to go to Facebook, this much to go to Instagram. If it had pictures, it would automatically pull it in. Yeah, so it's automatically pull pictures in. Make it super simple. At the same time, we want to have expert mode, so you can go tweak it however you want. though the algorithms that are built into here, Facebook built themselves, so Facebook may know how to advertise on their platform better than you. Maybe not, I don't know. So we got this in here, and then at the same time, one that I think is really cool that shows the power of our connected big data is real mailers. Real mailers is our ability to send out physical mailers directly to the system, whether it's around a specific listing that you have. So let's say we come in here and I have property in Austin. Not mine. Say this one. Here's my property. I want to use this mailer because it's got KW at the bottom. Here's, well, it didn't automatically grab a picture, but I can upload images. I don't know if I have any. Nice house. Address, price, etc. This is automatically going to start building your thing for you. Let's see if I can get all this. Great customized card. Company detail. Let's go on. Missing something?
Looks like the address.
Oh, it doesn't like it? Oh, it's like address to the left. There we go. And this already works right now. We're negotiating economies of scale to try and get you some better pricing to that work. Of course, this is not gonna work. And we're live streaming, everything. Let me see if I have one already built. Come on.
There's only 10,000 people watching the live stream.
Exactly. Okay, here's one that's built. So this is in somewhere. But so what this is doing, this is what I want to show you. I have a listing. I can say I want to target 1,000 houses or 920 houses around my specific listing, and at the same time, I don't want to exceed this area right here because that's my farm. That is not 920 houses. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so it's not going out from the center, it's just kind of giving you the best around there. I only want single family. I want these to be, my market is 4 bedrooms, 4 to 8 bedrooms. No, let's 8 bedrooms. Let's do 2 to 7. Let's do 900 to 79 square feet, whatever, it's very specific. I want houses that were built in the 2000s. Nope, there's no houses that are built in the 2000s. I only want houses that have sold before 5 years ago. And I don't care when they sold for. So what this has done is it's created there are 213 homes that match my criteria around here. This is the power of some of that big data, and I can immediately with a quick click of a button come down here and pay no attention to the totals.
So what that shows you, Bobby, is that you didn't waste your money on 900 mailers
Yep.
Because only 200 of them will actually could be willing to send to, so you actually save yourself 700 mailers.
I did, yeah. And so this automatically generates this campaign, didn't have a picture uploaded for it, for example. But it automatically generated a postcard. I can come here, pay for it, and send it right away. And it would go. And we're working on new iterations of this too. This already works right now also if you want to. And having this work with smart plans, so we envision with smart plans, you grab a listing or you have a under contract or just sold and be able to send that just sold campaign to the closest 100 houses where people have lived in that house for over 5 years and it's a single family home and it's, as we bring in more and more information, you can get that hyper targeted to where maybe those closest 100 houses out to about a mile or 2 miles, maybe it's not 100 houses, maybe it's 10 houses that match your criteria perfectly, then you can send those emails, you can send those campaigns only to the people you want to send them to and not waste your money with everybody else. They automatically send with the relevant information.
It would be cool if I can do that for half a mile from that house for everyone who's in my database.
Yes, absolutely. And that's our next iteration of that too. Not just addresses, but being able to send it to your database. And actually that, I haven't even thought about that, but to your database, but within a radius of every homeowner within your database. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Anybody else would use this? How many use print marketing? Not very many people. The reason why we don't use print marketing is because it's just a money pit, right? We just throw money at it. I've done EDM marketing, I've done all the print marketing things, and you're throwing money at something, and it's going to everybody, and you don't know if you're sending it to the right people or not. Somebody may have just moved into a house, and you're sending them, hey, think about this in your house lately. It becomes a waste of time and money, big time. Waste of time also because you're spending time building those routes, or printing postcards, or trying every which way to save money and get targeted, and it never gets this targeted. It's never this quick either. This is another cool thing. So when it comes to marketing, I talked about landing pages. This is landing pages. Now I have not played with this yet. This just showed up in the QA environment. So I'm going to play with it right now, and we're going to see if we can create a landing page. If it doesn't work, please don't hold it against me. Because again, this is a development environment. Let's see if this works. Some of it is working. I need to put more pictures on my. This does not look like no. Insights, Austin. Okay. It is not working, but I've seen a demo of this going, and it's literally it's a drag and drop editor to build websites, to build those market snaps. Has anybody done a market snap yet? And if you haven't, I'll show you right now exactly what this does. So name a neighborhood in Philly that somebody works in.
Paramount.
Fish down.
This long. Hold on, y'all have AirPlay here, don't you? Well, never mind. I didn't get the password. I'll just find it. So I'm gonna look for Kelly snaps in this area. So if you haven't played with this yet, this is pretty cool. So where is one of these neighborhoods?
This area is Graduate Hospital.
This one?
Yeah.
What about, what's this one? South Wash Square West?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Same thing? This says just north and east up here a little bit.
Here, you don't use my phone.
Oh, that's fine. I was gonna send it to you. Okay. So if you haven't played with this yet, guys, this is become a really powerful tool, and there's a lot of people that are getting business from this. So I come over here, I want to do snaps. I want to search this area. Let's do this South Wash Square West. Click through that. There are 23 active listings in this square couple blocks. 7 pending, average days on market, average list price. I have all this information here. You can see, okay, I want to see what does the stats look like for my market center specifically. No pressure. Again, it's live. It's not.
Could be the internet. It could be the internet.
Oh, it could. No. Okay. But I can export this, and so let's say let's export this and compare the market center, and we'll put this is Bobby. And then we'll share this. It's going to ask me how I want to share it. Typically, that's immediate. Unable to generate share link. Okay, let's take the market center off that. Y'all think it's the internet? Let me try mine. Nope, they do not work. Okay. So what this is going to do is going to generate a link. It's going to generate a landing page, so I can send it to. Man.
It is the internet, though.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah. It's a server. I'm on LTE. Oh, so. I'm gonna pull up in Austin and see if something comes up. Nope, this game fits too. Oh, did I disconnect?
Yeah.
Washington rifle. They're also updating these things so many times that it's probably us too. So if that's not working, I apologize, especially if you're from a client, that would be a pain. I forgot where I was going with that. Let's see if I have landing pages here. If this loads, I'll show you what landing pages is, so it'll look like when it's done, and an example of one. So here's an example of a neighborhood landing page, restaurants in SoCo. We're going to create those landing pages. This is what they end up looking like. They have a call to action at the bottom. They have the insights are going to live here, any relevant information about that neighborhood that you want to present to your consumer, or if you want to do one specifically around a listing, you can do that also. And then I'm pretty sure this has a preview button somewhere. Yeah, so this is what the market snaps end up looking like in a larger view. And I'm sorry you couldn't share that, but they must be rolling out an update right now, hopefully. Any questions about landing pages? No?
Can you go through each like specific listing on the market snap, or is that just for general analysis?
This is for general analysis, so your consumer can't go in there and start cycling through the listings yet. That's nothing that we've built yet until, once we have the consumer experience built out there, I can completely see them being able to click into a listing, setting up an account, so you understand what they're looking at, being able to drive leads that way.
Cool.
We also have Sketch House, which is our, let's see if I can just go with this. It's not Sketch House, we're changing the name.
What are you changing it to?
I don't know, probably design. I think. Who here uses Canva? Yeah, so we're rebuilding Canva inside of here, not only to build marketing assets, but to build email templates, obviously websites, things like that. It's all going to live in here, your assets are gonna live in here. Looking at things we're calling, like smart zones or smart widgets, or dynamic info, whatever. It's all gonna live in there, so if you have a team and you have 5 different agents, and one of your agents jumps on there, it's gonna say, okay, this right here is that agent's specific headshot, this is their specific information. Or with listings, this is the listing picture, this is the kitchen picture, this is all the relevant information about that listing, and have it create those templates for you. Or you have a lore report or something, your listing presentation. It's automatically going to fill in with the most up-to-date information for you. We want to make it easier for you to run your business and not have to spend all your time trying to be a marketing expert and update marketing templates. We also have listing presentation, the ability to create a listing consultation directly within command. This is not how the new screens look. I actually have a wide version. To where you can come in and set up a listing presentation for your consumer, or a consultation where they can do a qualitative comparison. You can set up a CMA and present that to your consumer, and where you pull them into the process and they drive the conversation where they feel like they're the ones that are creating the pricing for their home, not you trying to push a price on them that they don't specifically like. When you go have the conversation with them, they've already done the qualitative comparison and they've seen the CMA and they understand, hey, this pricing is what it needs to be because I've seen all the houses they've compared to my house. And I've done this whole qualitative comparison. I'll show you what that looks like. The consumer would come in here and you would send them a link, they would come in and start the process that you've already set up for them. This is some of these pages still have some issues. They set up the property information, what they're looking for, and then they come in here and say, okay, here's the basement. This basement is more appealing than my basement. This bonus room is the same as my bonus room, whatever. Less appealing. This bathroom is less appealing. They hit next. And it would tell you, okay, here's how everything compared, here's what the qualitative analysis looked like. They would fill this out, then it would send this to you, the agent, so you understand what they've gone through and looked at this, you've gone through and looked at the pictures, and you both can come to a consensus on how they feel about their homes. This is that pre-work that they can do, and then you go to the listing presentation, you have all the data to back it up, and you have pricing strategies in place to be able to present them with. This is just our test version that we're testing in DC right now, Fulton Properties Group. They're going through to validate some of the stuff to make sure it works. But this is going to be coming out to you guys pretty quick. I wonder if this has listing presentation. Oh yeah, a little bit. We're in the process of building this, and again, this is the development version. Putting together a listing presentation that you can just show to your consumer. This has a lot of information, but it's within here to be able to walk through your consumer and be able to, go through the advertising plans with them and be able to change it right there on the fly. I think it's really cool, really powerful. So you can show your consumer, here's all the houses I'm going to target based on this. These specific criteria, and show them the power of the color cloud using that tech-enabled agent. Give some pricing strategies, etc., and that's not actually built into here yet. They're actually building this right now as we speak. We had a meeting last week, me and Josh and Neil, about what we can kind of turn this into for a first version for all the agents. So. Okay guys, for the last 30 minutes, I want to do a Q&A. I feel like I'm just talking a lot. I want to make sure that you're getting a good overall view of what's happening. And there's not any burning questions that I'm missing. This, again, it's just tip of the iceberg. I didn't even show you what, this is all different experiences that we're building, by the way. Like what Connect is turning into. Connect is turning into if Facebook and LinkedIn came together, had a baby, it would look like this. And everything, all the power you have now, plus the whole social component on top of it.
The roadshow that's coming to Triple Play in
Yeah, highly suggest you go to that, because the road shows are going to, first off, they have, the first half of the stuff I showed you, we flew through pretty quick. Those road shows are about 4 hours, but they'll dive into the consumer piece that I showed you, plus the whole why behind it. So you'll probably see some of the same stuff. They'll also jump into Command and Connect. And it's always changing and updating every single month. We're trying to update those. I'm doing videos every single month, like what Josh had on here, to go through Command and Connect to make sure that everything is up to date as possible. But I would highly recommend going to those as many times as you can, and bring, you know, if you're trying to recruit some people for your downline, bring them, because they have become a massive driver of you know, pulling your recruits to KW. So once people see what we're building and they see it and laid out in that way, it becomes hard to not see that road and be like, I have to be on that path too, because Gary is fully committed and supporting us and wants us to be successful and with all of this, and he's willing to go broke to make it happen, which isn't gonna happen. That would take a lot to make him go broke. This is KW Connect, the future of it. You have your groups on the left side, your feed in the middle. This is going to go to your Kelly app. It's going to be your social connection to other agents in the market center, to other agents across the country, any groups that you're in, if it's your team, or you know, you're in KW land or luxury, commercial, be able to have those conversations there too.
So basically, like your Kel and KW Connect and all the, like our KW intranet, if you will all be together on this site. Kelly. Is that Kelly? Kelly.
It's all going to be within Command. It's all going to be
Okay.
accessible from the same place.
Cool. And I have a question on these referrals. I feel like how, you can only search by like zip code or city. Will they be like defining it more where you can actually just search for the person and like type in a first and last name and connect with them?
Yes, it won't let you do that right now?
It's not letting me at least.
Okay. They should be able to do that. If not, you can go search through Connect for a specific agent and add them to your referral network, and then just directly connect to them.
Okay, and then once you add them in your Connect, they're also in your Kelly.
Yes, if you, depends how you add them. We're also debating on whether to pull in your whole referral network into Command database,
Okay,
because there's some people that added 100,000 people to their referral network, and that would make the database crazy.
yeah. Interesting, okay. Cause like now, if I just search like this area code, like agents in New Jersey are coming up, not us.
So the best way to do that is to, not only with Kelly, but go into referrals on the computer, and it has a lot more capability for you to search, so you can search by production, so everybody that bought or sold a home,
Okay,
and, I'm gonna stop you if you see this. Anybody that's bought or sold a home like in this area, I can only see those agents if I want to. Network. So this defaults by production, so a bunch of dots are gonna show up right here as long as internet works. Yeah, this is all the homes that are bought or sold by KW agents in this area. And so this is going to, yeah, it's gonna order by closed units over here on the right side, in this specific area that I'm looking at. So I can come in here and I can zoom in more. To the specific area, say, okay, who sold houses in this?
Go a little further south, a little bit more.
There we go, no. in this specific area, it's sorting by closed units, and so if you wanted to just see specific areas, you can do this. I'm pretty sure you can find by name here. Yeah, you can search by name right here. In command, in Connect. And then also, if I wanted to zoom in a little bit more, you can do the broadcast referrals here too. Which, have you, any of y'all sent broadcast referrals yet? No. That's so say that, yeah, all these people over here, I want to see people that have sold, at least 5 bought or sold. There's 15 agents that have right here, and I can come in and broadcast a referral to all 15 of those anonymously, so they're not blowing you up, and they can apply for that referral, and you can go pick who you want to give that to, and then once you pick who you want to give it to, based on the responses, you can have that conversation. They understand who you are. Really good if you have like 10 referral agents in a specific city, but you don't want to send it to just one of them. You want to let them all compete for it a little bit, and they can compete for it, and then they once it's lost, don't understand, that don't know that it was you that sent it, unless you put in the note that it's you, which I've had people do before. Like, well, that defeats the purpose of being anonymous. Yes.
And you may have missed this part before, but talking about command as a CRM. Currently, the way that I have it set up is I have different clients categorized as past client, current client, future seller, and I have them on specific campaigns. Like I follow up with them every couple days or every 30 days, 60, whatever. Is there going to be any? Can I customize command to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Through tags, you can do
I
that.
can add tags.
Or you can add some custom fields that you want to do that for, and then have smart plans read those tags and assign a different campaign based on the tags.
Okay, cool. Because right now, yeah, I have people as like past client, but then within past client, I'll tag them with neighborhoods, and then send a broadcast out to neighborhoods, so I'm making a couple different things. So I
Yep.
can do that. Cool.
Yep. Absolutely. Is anybody overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it is so much information. The only reason I can talk about all this is because I'm in it every single day. Noah, how many times have you been in the lab, or in this conversation at least?
Yeah, twice a week I'm in it.
Twice a week. Yeah, you're in the super user labs, and does this still feel overwhelming?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because it's I mean, it's a lot of information. It's a lot of stuff that we need to build, and I mean, honestly, we don't need to build all of it. We could probably just do the bare minimum and get it out to you, and you love it. But this needs to be as full functioning as possible, so we take as much of that cost off of you and make it free, or make it whatever your tech fee is currently. Because we don't want to add more cost to any of this. Not like EAD, where you had to pay for a premium version to get access to the tools. We're just going to give you the tools, and we're going to keep building them. And on top of that, we're going to give agents and vendors the capability to plug in at a very deep level, so that you can add more and more to it if we hadn't thought of it or built it, which I don't think is going to be very much.
Probably more questions for Noah, but once this is out there, is there going to be a lot of trainings on it for everybody? Webinars,
Yeah, well,
at least?
as many of us that can, we're gonna become experts, or just keep rolling out trainings, but Keller Williams International, KWRI is gonna be rolling out live stream trainings on a
Okay.
regular basis that you can just watch online. You don't have to wait for us to do it, but we're also gonna do as many local trainings as we possibly can, because we want everyone to really understand this.
Yeah.
We have to understand it ourselves first. So maybe you wanna volunteer to be one of the trainers.
Yeah. So we're in the process of hiring a live stream tech trainer. So somebody that's going to be continually just talking about tech on Connect, live stream, all the time. Not 24/7, but as much as possible. That's going to be their full-time job. And KWU, their whole focus right now is to build tech training and education. They're the ones that have coordinated and kicked off the tech roadshows, because that's where they want to educate agents on where we're at and what's coming. That was our best plan, to be able to get this out in mass to as many agents as possible. What was to take it to the regions and have it continually happen, because live streams, how many of you are watching live stream? A few of you. We want to capture the rest. There's people that like watching on a computer, there's people that really enjoy being in person, and so we're trying to hit it from all angles right now, leading up to family reunion.
So what can agents play around with now, and when will they be able to play around with some of this stuff?
Yeah, y'all can all play around with command. Make sure I get all of your emails.
Do they all have access to some of this stuff right now?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It depends. You have access to Kelly.
You
So
guys know how to get onto command?
agent.kw.com will get you on command. If you already have access, you just log in with your KW Connect credentials, and that will give you access. If you do not have access, I'm gonna make sure I get emails from everybody in the room in one email, and I can get everybody turned on. Not emails. In one email, somebody put together your names and KW UID.
Just email it all to
I'll send it.
Katie Shelburne?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you have everything there, Mike, so she'll email it to you, obviously.
If you weren't registered on the Eventbrite, just send me your.
Yeah. And I will, make sure that you get access to command, play around with it, give us feedback. This, obviously, we're building a whole support team, we love feedback, we want it in here. I think that you're not gonna have all this stuff turned on the left. Over the next couple of weeks, we're rolling out more and more as we transition to the Google stuff. But it's still enough for you to transition from a spreadsheet to a database tool. And we're adding more and more capabilities. Just be patient and understand that you are going to be in a live environment and you're going to be giving us feedback as you feel like you need to give us feedback. We get so much feedback too, so if you just want to go in there and just wait for it to be done for you, then just do that. But please give feedback.
What was the URL again?
Agent. Here, I'll go. agent.kw.com. And this may forward me to the actual, no, there we go. Nope, it forwarded me to the login. But agent.kw.com will take you to the login screen.
To the Keller Cloud. Yeah.
Questions? Yes.
So how is this going to work for teams? With that, for example, because every agent in KW has their own account, correct? Can have their own database, but can those be integrated together as a team in a way for marketing and all of that other stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be, we have to put everyone in one account and
No.
give them different tags?
No. We're, I don't know if you've noticed recently, a lot of people's logins got messed up because we're transitioning some systems so that we can start planning for the team version of Command. But our number one focus is to be able to build something that you can grow into as big as you want to get. If you want to be a large expansion team with 500 agents, we can do that, or 500 locations. We want to be able to do that, or if you want to be an individual agent, we want to be able to service you wherever you're at. The team version, it's not a version, it's all going to work. If you want to plug people into your teams, you can do that, and they'll just, any of this, the customization that you set up specifically for your team will just set up for them. It'll change their consumer app to be however you set up the team consumer app. It'll change it'll give them access to the smart plans for the team, the marketing assets. The databases then are shared based on how you set up those that sharing functionality. There's a lot of functionality that needs to go into setting up a team, and we're making sure that we have that, because that's super high priority. And a lot of the people that we have giving us feedback on a weekly basis, like Noah, have teams, and they're trying to make sure that it works for their agents. So I get a ton of feedback from teams to make sure this works for them. Not like EA where that went out, that was only for individual agents. I don't want to do that. I have a team. It has to work with my team. Come on, guys, I know you got more questions.
Do you want to talk about green sheets, how that process is gonna work?
Yeah, well, green sheets are going away because of, hold up. What?
You say about green sheets? What do you say?
No, all of that's going away because all of the opportunities are going to live in the system right here, and and you're gonna be able to manage the whole process from beginning to end right within the tool. So this is the way we envision. I mean, obviously, I like spreadsheets a little bit more than this, but this is just, looks like a Kanban board or Trello. You can just drag these deals that live within the consumer cards from, so this is an appointment that was scheduled, it was a kept appointment, so it goes to this phase, goes to the pre-MLS phase. I can then take it from pre-MLS to this is active, whatever you want to call these. And you can also edit these stages to be whatever you want these stages to be. So if they sound wrong, it's because they were set up by a bunch of tech guys that don't know how the real estate process works all the time. So I can click into one of these, and it's attached to the listing, it's attached to the user, or the client. It's got all the relevant information. Obviously, not much of this is filled out. I can set up offer comparisons. Let's say this one has 27 offers. That's kind of awesome. Any offers that come in, I can add new offers also. Kelly can pull in offers. All these offers are here. I can select all. I can do compare offers. This will automatically create an offer compare as long as the internet pulls up all 27. That could take a minute. There we go. 27 offers to compare. You can rearrange these however you want. Then email that offer comparison to your client. Wow, that's a lot. Be able to manage your commissions in here. So whatever that commission worksheet looks like from the green sheets, you just build it, put it right into here. And it's going to give you all the information. Like this is going to send all the information to your MCA or whoever processes that in the market center. And again, a lot of this is going to be pre-populated based on MLS information, client information, or your specific information. So you're not going to fill out as much as you have in the past with green sheets if you've ever had to deal with green sheets. Compliance is going to live right here too. This, I don't know if this specific screen works, but this is where it talks back and forth with the market center. So the market center has specific forms that need to be filled out, or there's specific ones in your MLS or within your board that needs to happen. Those are going to show up in there. It's going to understand what's been uploaded, what's been finished, what are you missing, you're never missing, documents that you need, and then lastly is timeline, just timeline of what has happened, and that's not working right now either. So opportunities all gonna live right here. I think I don't actually know if this one is connected to the consumer. But these also live inside of your contacts. Let's see if one of these pops up. Nope, that's another. Oh yeah. Yeah, so these opportunities are going to live in here. It's going to tell you what the phase is that it's in, and relevant information. So if you have a lot of transactions in process, so you have an investor that's maybe buying 100 homes all at one time, you can manage all those individually in here if you wanted to. That could be a nightmare. But this is going to be something too that's going to be fully operational sooner rather than later, and where, because green sheets are transitioning to this, and this is the way you're going to communicate with the market center. Everybody's going to be using command at some level, and that level may be just for this. If you don't want to use the rest of the command and you still want to pay $1,000 a month for Boomtown, or you want to pay X amount of dollars for some other CRM, you can do that. And then you can plug it in. eEdge already syncs with command. So if you want to use eEdge for the rest of your life, you can do that. And just use it, you have to use this for transactions. Because this is going to be how the market center gets away from transmittal and being able to manually submit all that information, because it will automatically just sync with the cloud and with KWRI and make that so much easier. Here's some integrations that we already have connected to. Obviously, eEdge is one of those. Google Contacts, that's new. I haven't seen Google Contacts yet. That's literally been added this week. So, any questions? Again, you were overwhelmed before, and then I threw in another little component. of overwhelming. I'll go through these stuff on the left side real quick. Here is smart plans. This is where you manage smart plans and your task lists, etc. It's gonna go in here. This is referrals. So referrals is gonna move into this system, so you can manage that whole process right here. This is opportunities. This is market center specific. Your calendar is grayed out right now. You're gonna have lead accelerator. You're gonna have landing page creator. You're gonna have Sketchhouse or what's it called? Design. Yeah. It's too many names. I think I have an example. Yeah, here's an example of what a market snap. How you would set it up and then be able to feed that directly to the listing template. KWLS is going to live in here. So within listing search, you'll be able to see specific neighborhoods and then come in and see the specific listings. So here's all the listings from the MLS are going to come into command. So you'll have access, the whole MLS will live in your command. Your KW Connect groups are going to be in here. This is a bad version of KW Connect groups, but as you can see, it works, and I don't know what that is.
So will you fill out your listing information here, and it would automatically populate on the listing, on the multiple listings?
I would love for that to happen. Right now, MLSs don't allow people to, most MLSs don't allow people to push data into the MLSs. It has to be manually entered. So if MLSs change their mind, we will definitely do that. We'll definitely push it. But I don't know how it is. Yeah. Go to your board and say, hey, look, our MLS needs to allow people to push data to it because we don't want to use their cruddy systems anymore. Insights is going to live in here too. So no results found. These are all in QA, so it's not going to have any of the actual ones. This is trainer, so you can, right here, you can upload real estate contracts and then train it specifically for your market. This has a little king. What kind of real estate contract is this? Is it, and I'm gonna see, I'm probably gonna have a lot of MCAs using this to train Kelly to work for their specific contracts that they put in place. But this is where you train it. You can also, we envision this training pictures to be able to help Kelly better identify, hey, this picture I uploaded, it said these were carpets, but it's really hardwood floors. Granted, we're not gonna mess that up, but specific features and things like that.
We're working on training the PA contracts. Our team's working on that.
Yeah.
So
We're doing it right now.
we'll be first to have it when it comes out.
And then this is listing console, that's gonna be in there too. And there's more KW leverage. I don't know, there's more things coming. Coaching, if you're a maps coach or have a maps coach, all it is, no more filling out forms to send your maps coach or get from your coaching clients. It'll automatically just be there and they'll understand your business at a much deeper level. What that means too is no more lying to your maps coach about how many appointments you went to or contacts you made.
So just to recap a lot of this stuff, I know people are anxious about when's it coming out, the date keeps getting pushed. Seeing a lot of this stuff today, seeing that, maybe it's not working the way that you'd like it to see, but the reason why Bobby and other people are rolling this stuff out to show you, so you realize something's happening, right? So you don't realize that nothing's happening. You see how big this system is to build and how in-depth it is, and without even showing the broken version, you won't even realize all that's going into this. So every week I see this and it gets even further along, believe it or not. Like 2 months ago, half of the stuff wasn't even here. So even though it looks like a lot of stuff is broken, every week it's getting better and better and better. And by the time it comes out, so that's just a short couple months away, it's gonna be legit. It's gonna really change the way we do business and make us more efficient.
Yeah, we're moving really fast. For a tech company, we're moving very fast. If anybody's been in the process of tech development in the past, it takes a lot of work to get to where we're at. And it has taken a lot of work. And we still need developers. We're probably still, I said we had, a few hundred, we're probably still 100 short of people that we want to have on site working on this constantly. It's just hard hard competition in Austin, dealing with Facebook and Google and Apple, trying to compete with them. But, I mean, we're getting close. Again, a lot of times when you see delays with this, understand, it's just because, sometimes it's because we ran into some technical difficulties with something. Other times it's because agents told us to pivot and go a different direction. Like listing consult, we spent a lot of time working on some mega camp because we got a lot of push from agents saying, hey, focus on this because we want this. This is something we can use immediately out in the field to drive business. So we took some resources away from some other things and pushed it in here.
How much money has been put towards this, and how, once this is built, is that the end, or is it gonna continue on for how long?
No, it's never gonna be done. We envision that we're gonna keep building. I mean, that's the whole process of labs, is keep collaborating with you to make it better, and thinking of new ideas, like what we had at Mega Camp. We had agents come in and we developed, I wish I had that video, developed the ability to map your database inside of Kelly with just a click of a button. So you then go to Kelly, if you have database in command and addresses, it'll show you where those people live. I want to keep doing things like that so we can keep adding features and functionality to Command and Kelly and Connect that make your life easier, automate your business a little bit more, build your relationships with the consumer at a deeper level. We're going to keep doing that over and over and over again. The amount of money that we put towards this, probably hundreds of millions of dollars already.
What I heard is there's $1 billion that was earmarked for this. The upfront investment was probably a couple $100,000, and then a couple $100 million, and then $50 million per year for the next 20 years has been earmarked for this. I think part of the reason why.
I can already guarantee it's going to be more than that.
Yeah, for sure. Part of the reason why it's taking so long is because Josh and his team wanted to make sure that they could build a platform and a team that was able to build something, whatever it might be, within 30 days. So if another company comes out with something really cool, we're like, oh man, this company just came out with this awesome thing, now they have the competitive advantage. Well, now Josh's team has built the company in a way, a platform that in 30 days or less, he can copy whatever it is they do, just like Facebook does, right? So another company comes out with a cool idea, well, Facebook just copies it, right? And that's the way this is set up, is while they have a team of innovative people that are gonna innovate some cool ideas, they're not foolish to think that other companies are not gonna come up with better ideas that they're, that are gonna be cool. They're just gonna be able to copy those ideas too within 30 days and make them part of this platform.
We built this in less than 2 weeks. The hardest part was getting the phone number, but you can text to Kelly. I think it's details. I forget the most recent one. We're still working on this.
Build what in lesson?
So this right here, which is called Sign Snap, so I can see your closest location. And what this has done is, so who here uses Quickly? Or a text writer on your listings that provides information? This is a text writer. So a consumer goes in and texts details to Kelly, it's like 53353 or something like that. And it will shoot them and find the listings that are closest to them. And then come in here and click on it. When they click on it, it'll automatically send that consumer's contact information to Command View. So it's a lead capture tool. And this is a, look, there's Antonio Attican. Is that somebody in this office? No. But it provides them with a mini snap and some information about where they're at and information about that home if it's in there. I don't know why it's not working. But it's a text. 2 weeks we built this. The hardest part was getting the phone number. But like you said, once we get those building blocks in place, or once we build those Legos, we can piece them together any way we want to be able to stand things up quickly if we need to stand them up quickly. We built that, the ability to map your database in Kelly in 4 days during Mega Camp because we had the Legos to do it.
You guys ready to take over the world?
Yes.
All right.
You want this right now?
Yes.
Yes.
I want it right now too. I want it operational for your business, and it's not going to break the way you do business. Like I would have hated it if they released all this stuff out to you. the agents and then had a blackout while they upgraded to new Google systems, that would have told them they could not do that. And we already have some agents that are running on it fully, which to me, I don't encourage running on it fully right now unless you're operating on a spreadsheet currently. But if you're using any other CRM, I would just work on updating your database, and then over the next few weeks, we should also be releasing some integrations with tools to help you sync those databases if it's one of the main CRMs to Command, so that it always stays in sync and you can run parallel.
So like those people who have access to it now, are they kind of like the beta tester, if you will? Because like, it's my understanding with technology, like if KW rolls all this out of family reunion and all, whatever, 150,000 of us go on, it's, they gotta work out the kinks somehow. So like, are those people who have access to it now kind of the ones working out the kinks, that way when it fully rolls out, we're not?
Yes.
That makes sense?
That's what the going through the last process is, making sure that we're working with those kinks with those. It's like 30,000 people right now. Plus, if I release it to 100,000 or 60,000 even, I'd break my support staff.
Yeah.
With phone calls, which we almost did after MegaCamp. I had to jump on support phone calls because we updated something and we added so many people to Command after MegaCamp that we broke the support staff that we had.
Yeah.
So, but it's died down as we fixed the kinks and people have gotten used to what's happening. I'm sorry I overwhelmed all of you with all of this information. If you thought it was just going to be small and a little bit of technology and just a little bit of information, this is so much. And the conversation is so big that it takes going to the road shows on a monthly basis and watching the live streams. I do latest and live streams, or Audi, every other week. And then we're also bringing in full-time live stream people just to have the conversation, because it's going to take a mind shift, not only from agents, but team leaders and OPs and regional directors and CAs all throughout the Keller Williams system to come to the realization that we are a tech company, we are moving this direction, we are having these conversations, and that this is going to be where the future of real estate's going. Gary mentioned 2 years ago, or I think it was this year, Family Reunion, that the real estate industry is going to change in the next 18 months. It's going to completely shift. But that's not because of something that some other company's doing. It's because that's when we're going to roll this out, and we're going to have 190,000 agents across the globe empowered by technology that's going to provide this ultimate consumer experience to their clients. And their clients are everybody's going to look up one day and realize, like, KW actually did this. And we're doing it because we have the leadership in place with Gary and Josh to see the vision and to keep driving with it and to, at all costs, make it happen. Gary's not trying to protect, protect the bottom line or, make sure that he's not, I don't know. He's not trying to work within a budget to make this happen. He's willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen, hire whoever he needs to hire to make it happen, and spend whatever he needs to spend to make it happen, because he wants to put on his gravestone, Gary Keller, he was a realtor. And at that point, like, if somebody did that today, John Smith, he was a travel agent, you'd be like, what? Nobody's a travel agent anymore. He doesn't want that to happen. It won't happen, it's a completely separate industry.
Somebody wanted to follow the latest in labs and what you're, rolling out on a weekly basis, how do they access that?
KW Connect. Oh, also on KW Connect, there are, just go to KW Connect and there's probably videos right front and center. Yeah, Tech Roadshow 2018, Command. There's 2 videos with me right there talking about it. And then a video with some of our tech team right there talking about it. There's more tech team, more tech videos. It's on the front of here, this whole top screen, latest in tech. Never mind, I didn't even know that was a thing anymore. Latest in tech's at the top. This whole top row. Go check that out. It'll dive in a lot deeper to some of the stuff that I talked about at a very specific level.
Guess we'll give a round of applause for Bobby. All right, so real quick, how many people go on KW Connect each week? Raise your hand if you go on once. Check around, look around the room. Okay. So here's what I learned. I've been here since July. it's overwhelming. Would you guys agree? So we have the largest training, or the best training in the United States of America by many different third-party aspects that rate this. And one of the things I learned about the training here is it's only as good as you play with it or utilize it. So anything on KW Connect, anything on the KW Internet site that you want to know, it's there. You just got to type the words in, right? So a lot of stuff he's telling me, I'll ask certain people questions, and just I'll give you an example. There's Noah's in the room. I'll ask me. He's like, it's in this one. It's here, right? I'll type it in. It's there. So one of the things I recommend is put it in your calendar each week. I know we're all busy, but the only way you get better shape at the gym is what do you have to do? Show up where? At the gym. So if you want to work on your brain, you want to work on your business, one of the things you have to do is put time aside every week. It's not fun, but it's essential to grow your business. So my recommendation would be putting 1 hour a week aside your schedule to start learning about KW Connect, KW technology. And if you guys have questions after that about building teams, about leverage, about buyers, it's all on there. If you come to our classes, we'll show you guys. I just want to tell you guys, from my perspective, Bobby, it's great to be in a spot where a company actually has the foresight to see the future, the foresight to see it's changing, and the foresight to allow us to have the input in place to be the voice, but to have the backing of someone like Gary to do it. And to see guys like Noah, who has a big team, taking everything off of it and putting it all in here. So it's just not like one person down, building it down. Everybody's using it. And some of the people he tells me now using it, it's good to know. Some of those people came here and spoke to see them using it first. So we're patiently waiting. I thank you for coming. What do you guys think today? Awesome. Good? Good. All right, good. All right, that's it. Go crush it. All right. All right, if you're here and you want to talk about marketing or internships, come on up. If you're an agent that's interested in talking, stop up under